Today I'm going to show you how to install TPMS sensors in your tires if your tires are already mounted on your rims. You can do it yourself without taking it to a shop and without having to rebalance your tires afterwards. At least that's the goal. So you can use these instructions if you're putting new TPMS sensors in, replacing old ones, or if you're replacing regular old rubber valve stems like I am today. I'm going to be putting these ones in my winter tires and pulling out the rubber valve stems. You can use these instructions for whichever kind of TPMS sensors you're using, but I am using these Autel MX sensors, which are programmable. This is a follow-up video to my last one, which shows you how to program these. So if you're interested in that, take a look at that video as well. So let's get started. So here are some of the supplies that we're going to need. First, a wrench. I'm going to need 6mm and 11mm sockets. Small wrench is fine, we're not dealing with much torque here. Of course, your TPMS sensor. This is optional, it's a little tool to get the valve stem out, just to assist in getting the air out. You don't need it. Some pliers to get the old valve stem out if you're replacing just a regular rubber valve stem. Also some scrap lumber. You need a longer piece and a shorter piece. I'll show you how to use those. Some soap helps too for getting everything back on. I should add that you'll need an air compressor to put air back in your tire after you're done. So here's my winter tire. Now the basic premise of this is to break the seal just on the one side where the valve stem is. You don't need to do both sides, and you don't want to do both sides. The reason being is if you take the entire tire off, when you put it back on, the tire is going to be in a different position on the rim than it was before, and you're going to have to rebalance your tire. If you only break the seal on one side, you shouldn't have to rebalance the tire. Now a note on balance: if you are replacing just a regular rubber valve stem with the TPMS sensor here, the TPMS sensor does weigh a little bit more. I measured the difference between the two. You're looking at about 23 grams or 0.8 ounces. That's not much. I don't think it's much or enough to throw off the balance, but if you do notice some balance issues afterwards, you can either take it to a shop to get it rebalanced, or you can put a weight exactly opposite. Just put a weight on yourself. You can buy 3/4 ounce weights or 21 gram and just put it on yourself, because you know that's what threw off the weight, and hopefully it was only that. So let's get started. First thing we'll do is get the air out of the tire, then we're going to break the seal. So take the cap off. Now you can use this tool to take the valve stem right out, and the air will come out a lot quicker. But if you don't use anything, just press the valve in to get the air out. So I'm going to take this right out. It's probably going to go flying as soon as it gets loose.
A few moments later.
And once you hear that the air is out, we'll break the seal. So I have this up against my car because I'm going to use the car as leverage. So you put one block here, the other block under the car, and you're going to push down. Now it's going to take quite a bit of force. I had to step on it and actually jump on it to get it to break. There we go. And then once you get one side done, the rest is easy. So as you can see now, I can push this open and I can get inside. So we're going to pull that valve stem out. We're actually going to have to probably cut it. I'll show you how to do that. So I've seen some people say that you can pull these straight out. I haven't had that experience, so I'm going to use wire cutters to cut it. I'm going to pull on it, and then at the narrowest part, I'm going to cut them. Now I don't want to cut all the way through quite yet because I don't want the inside piece to fall inside. So I'm going to cut most of the way, and then I'm going to stick my hand inside and hold the inside piece as I rip the rest of it. And then the inside piece will come out. There, I got that. So now it's time to grab the TPMS sensor. You need to take the cap off, and then this piece off as well. And the washer. Take these over to the tire with you. Now you'll see that this part here is really wiggly. You can actually put it sideways, or you can put it that way. You kind of want to get it like that, and I suggest putting this bolt in a little bit, not all the way. You don't want to tighten it down. So that's a 6mm bolt. So make sure this is straight, and let's tighten this down a bit. Just a bit. We'll tighten it the rest of the way while it's in the tire. So inside the tire, we need to push it down. Use your feet to do that. And then you need to fit this inside the valve hole. Like that. And then grab the washer and the big nut, and we'll put those on the outside. So now we're going to tighten this down. The kit comes with a little metal bar, and this is when you need it. So there's a hole in the sensor right here, and this is to help prevent it from rotating. So you don't want the sensor to rotate. We talked about the right position between these two pieces, and this is what helps you maintain that. So you hold this piece. I found a combination wrench works better here instead of the socket, and you tighten it down. Now as for tightness, it says in the instructions to do it to 4 Newton meters. I'll have to look up what that is in foot-pounds, but it's not much. So you really don't need to, turn until you can't turn anymore. You just need it snug. Okay. Just straighten this out because I did turn a little bit, but I'll get it straight again. Looks like that's snug enough, so now we need to tighten this bit down. So I'm going to use a 6mm socket for this. Get it in there. Now, you want this piece to sit against the rim, so push that down with one hand, and with the other hand, you're going to tighten this up. Okay, that feels nice and snug. It's all good. So we're going to lube all of this up with soap right up to that ridge to help the tire slip up, because it's got to come up back up to here. So I'll put some soap on that, and then get the tire in place, and then we'll pump it up. You could use a little water if you want. I found it's not necessary. So if you just step on the rim itself, should get it into a good place. pretty close, and then we can start adding some air. I find it's better if you put some weight on the rim, just stand on the rim while you fill it up. Helps keep the seal better, and then it'll pop into place. There you go. And then you just fill it up until it's at the right pressure.
One eternity later.
That's good enough. We'll put the cap back on. And there we go. So now I just need to do that same thing with the rest of my tires, and I'm ready to install them once we get closer to winter. One thing to note is that I noticed with these winter tires that it was much easier to do this because the winter tires are made of softer rubber. When I first did this a few months ago with one of my all seasons, I remember it being significantly more difficult. So keep that in mind if you are going to be doing it with an all season. Don't expect it to be as easy to kind of squish the rubber and get under it. It might be a little harder. So thanks for watching. I appreciate it. If you have any questions, comments, feel free to comment, please do. And subscribe if you want to see my other videos coming up.